Hello, my name is David Head, and I am a guest speaker with the Cruise Lecturers Association, better known as the CLA. I'd like to spend a few minutes giving you an insight into my background before explaining a little about some of the 10 lectures that I give. To date, I've had 2 full careers and a part-time career, initially serving with the Royal Air Force, then working with the Home Office and local authorities, and finally lecturing to various groups and organisations. All of these activities have involved me in meeting and communicating with a number of very interesting people of various nationalities, many being employed in senior government appointments. After graduating from university, I successfully applied to join the Royal Air Force as aircrew, and after a full career, spanning some 37 years, I retired as a senior officer. During those years, I travelled the world and served on many squadrons, undertaking a variety of roles. For example, my first posting was to the Far East with Sunderland flying boats and Shackleton aircraft flying maritime and anti-submarine operations out of Singapore. Then, during the Cold War period, I actually flew with Bomber and Strike Command in Vulcan and Victor aircraft as part of the V-Force and the United Kingdom's thermonuclear deterrent. Some of my talks reflect my experiences during that period. I tried to present a light-hearted look at the rather sinister but essential role of the V-Force, and I recount a number of amusing as well as a few embarrassing incidents in those presentations. Another of my talks highlight how close the world came to World War III during the 13 days of the Cuba crisis in October 1962. In that presentation, I examined the difficulties facing the Kennedy administration, as well as Khrushchev's hidden agenda. I also looked at the facts behind the quarantine of Cuba, and how the world came to within a minute or so of total destruction, only to be saved from such a holocaust by the actions of a Russian submarine commander. As an aviator, weather has always been of great interest to me, and in one of my presentations, I concentrate on the Arctic and the Antarctic, as activity in those 2 areas of the globe act as the engine that drives and controls all weather on our planet. These talks, like all my presentations, include some amazing photographs and video of the subject matter. The latter part of my RAF career was spent with military intelligence, serving with Nato forces based at Brussels and at the Supreme Headquarters Allied Powers Europe, better known as SHAPE. This most interesting of assignments allowed me to witness firsthand and to be part of the team recording and reporting on such historical events as the breakup of the Warsaw Pact, the fall of the Berlin Wall, the end of the Cold War, and the start of glasnost in the Soviet Union. During my Royal Air Force service, I participate in a number of conflicts and some campaigns, and as a senior staff officer, I was privileged to be witness to and to be part of some of the most memorable incidents in modern history. Some of my talks encompass these experiences. On leaving the Royal Air Force, I entered a second career dealing with disasters. I was employed by various counties in England as their emergency planning officer, and as such, working with the Home Office and the 3 emergency services, I dealt with, planned for, and managed the recovery from numerous disasters in the United Kingdom. In addition, I wrote and had published contingency plans to deal with all types of potential major incidents, including chemical, biological, nuclear and terrorist incidents, and of course, man-made and natural disasters. One of my most popular presentations is on the subject of dealing with disasters. In general, my presentations reflect my interest in military history, management of disaster recovery, intense weather changes, worldwide travel, and some of mankind's greatest achievements and constructions, such as, for example, the Panama Canal, which has turned out to be a very popular talk. During my travels, I've had the good fortune to live in many countries around the world, and one of my presentations covers a cameo in the cities of Europe, especially St. Petersburg and its very famous Hermitage Museum. I try to cover all the facts in my talks and bring alive the human aspect of the subject, but at the same time, I like to add a dose of humour by taking a light-hearted approach to some of the more serious incidents on which I report. All in all, I have been most fortunate in having a number of interesting and demanding jobs that have also involved a great deal of fun and even more humour, and I would very much like to share some of my experiences with you in my lectures during your cruise. Thank you for listening.